if you get a liquidity issue, right? If you get a issue where the stock market does drop 20 or 30%, that's where I would be very concerned about Bitcoin price holding up. And we've seen it be rejected at this 30 to 31,000 level multiple times. I wouldn't want to see it break 27,000 is this trend line right here. If that gives way, it opens the door, the trap door essentially for us to go back down.
2주 전 비트코인의 하락을 우려했던 해외 대표 블리스 트레이더 이 가레스 솔로웨이의 관점이 이번에 정확히 적중하였습니다. 금일은 이런 그가 보고 있는 비트코인 지지라인 가격대를 살펴보고 그 외 차트로서 이번 주에 중요시 봐야 할 시황들을 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Alright, I do want to get into some crypto here. So again, as we flip through, we don't really have, I posted a big thing on Twitter over the weekend or talked about it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, guys, is very simple here. So Bitcoin, again, has broken the level I said it was likely going to break. We talked about this. You guys, it's been no surprise that when we were at 31,000, I was skeptical we were going to break out, unlike pretty much everyone else out there. But now we've fallen back down. Now the question is, here's your next support level, right? So looking at supports, we have a very clear $25,000 support, very clear 20,000 support, and if we break that, eventually you go back to the lows. The only way Bitcoin breaks 15,700-ish, the lows, is if we see the stock market go back to the October 2022 lows or lower. Then I actually think it can. Otherwise, I think Bitcoin probably holds up relatively well. My big concern, though, is that I actually do believe the stock market is going lower significantly, as I think this narrative that it's going to be a perfect landing and everything is going to be great and we're going to all sing kumbaya, I just don't buy it. Again, history shows us that when the yield curve uninverts is when we get the recession. We haven't uninverted yet, so there's still a lot of things. We also know that there's a delay in interest rate policy of 6 to 12 months. So we're only, based on what the market's reacting to, we're at like 2.5% on the Fed funds rate versus 5.25 to 5.5. So there's some big differences there. All right, now I do have some opportunities here in crypto land before I conclude today. So here's a chart of Litecoin. All right, so I'm in Litecoin. I want to show you a trend line here that's pretty remarkable. All right, if we zoom out on Litecoin here, what we can see is that, bear with me as I go to the weekly chart. All right, there we go. If we take this low and we connect it to this low here, so the lowest point to the lowest point, look at what it gives us on Litecoin. Look at that. Right to that point. So again, to me, Litecoin gets interesting in this range. All right, it's already started to bounce a little bit. I think it heads back towards this level right here. $70, maybe a little bit higher. I think maybe it even gets back to 80, but somewhere in that vicinity, I think it's likely going to be headed back to. And let's go to a couple of the other altcoins. If we look at Matic, all right, so Matic is in trouble as well, but same kind of deal. Look at this low to this low, and look at where we are on Matic. We're right above this level here. So, by the way, do I think the bottom is in on altcoins? No. Altcoins are going to go lower. But do I think there's a swing trade bounce in this vicinity? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there is. I want to quickly look at the dollar. The dollar is into technical resistance here. Take a look at this chart right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is a big level on the dollar. Okay, you have a very clear pivot point here, right? Trend line, trend line. So again, we're looking at, basically we have a level here and a level here. All right, so we're right up against resistance on the US dollar. Now, the best thing for markets in the near term is the dollar to pull back. That should help asset prices. All right, if it doesn't, and you break above, short term, that could be a negative. It could also insinuate that we're seeing people flee foreign markets like Japan, which we know the yield curve control issues there, the dollar yen, China is a mess, obviously. Europe's not doing so great. It would tell us that, again, if we break up, that the U.S. is really still the game in town in terms of the dollar. So watch for that. We're right at a pivotal level. Now, I want to point something out. The yield is at a pivotal level. The dollar is at a pivotal level. All right, these are major things. In fact, gold's at a pivotal level too. Think about what we're coming into this week. Jackson Hole on Friday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, a Jerome Powell major speech. Now, this speech is important because it's going to guide the markets whether Jerome Powell is going to hike in the next couple meetings or he's going to be on the sidelines. Remember, we got the minutes last week. They were very, very hawkish. So he's going to get a chance to guide us to what the rates will do. That will affect the dollar. That'll affect yields. That'll affect gold, silver, the stock market, maybe even crypto a little bit. So keep that on your radar.